So I did a poll on Instagram, and the one that got most votes was me doing a story time of how my daughter is waking up. Me doing a story time of how I found out I was pregnant, but I just wanted to get this one done and get it out there, get a feel for it. Ever since before I even got pregnant, I've always dreamt, like, to me, I've always lived in like this hopeless romantic fairy. If I ever get pregnant, this is how I'm gonna announce it, this is how I'm gonna tell my mom and dad, this is how I'm gonna tell my best friends, like. But no, nothing went how I wanted to. It just happened. Not that I want to put it out there, but my baby was not an accident. We actually kind of were just like, okay, if we are pregnant, then we're pregnant. Like, there's just, we weren't really trying, but we also weren't not trying. And we didn't expect it to happen as fast as it did, but it did. So this dates back to, I found out in February. So kind of had a feeling, and you do have a feeling, like I feel that you do have a feeling because I did. But on February, everyone watches, so like in February, everyone watches the Ace Family. Everyone knows. It was a new video that Catherine had just dropped, and it was like a super emotional one. It was her finding out she was pregnant. And I watched it and I got super emotional as well. I don't know why, because I'm not even gonna lie, I barely watched them. Like, I literally skipped through their videos just to watch Elle. She was just announcing that she finally got pregnant or whatever, and I got super emotional. So then I had told my boyfriend. He was leaving to the gym, I think, when I was telling him, and I was like, oh my god, like, it just made me hella emotional. I feel like, I don't know why it's making me so like sad. Like, what the heck. A couple days go by, I just like wasn't feeling good. It was about to be time for me to get my monthly cycle, so I was like, oh, it's whatever, you know. I was waiting on it, but we had went out. I forgot what we did that day, but I know I just was not feeling it. Like, I wasn't feeling it getting ready. I wasn't feeling it like in the car on the way. Like, my stomach was bothering me, and it didn't feel like normal period cramps. It just felt like uncomfortable. So we went to go eat, and then I wasn't even hungry. Pizza, and I like wasn't feeling it at all. So we left, and my boyfriend was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy you a pregnancy test. I'm just gonna buy it, like, let's just see. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I didn't even get my period, like, we should wait until I miss it. But no, he was so eager to find out. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll take him, but it's probably too early if I am home. And we lived with grandma and grandpa at the time. They're gonna watch this. Oh my god, they're gonna be like, oh my god, when they see this video, all of our parents and his parents and all that. But anyways, I was like sitting in the living room, and I just kind of walked past. But every time when we lived with them, every time I would get home, I couldn't even talk to grandma and grandpa because I'd always have to use the bathroom as soon as I got home. I was like, oh, I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. But it is so bad because we went to the 99-cent store and got the pregnancy test, and it's not one you pee on, it's when you have to pee in a cup and put the little strip in, like the doctor's office. Long to bring the freaking cup to me, and I literally, like, you're supposed to dip it, but I literally just like put the stick under. I was like, I don't care, I have to pee, like, and then I'm not gonna be even more anxious waiting to have to use the bathroom again to take the test. So I literally just stuck it under there, and I pulled it out, and as soon as I didn't even have to wait 3 minutes, y'all, like, the freaking red of the test started rushing and filling the 2 lines. I was like, oh shit, like, what the I literally threw it on the floor, and I was like, no, like, this is crazy. Like, what? Like, I'm freaking pregnant. Like, maybe this is a lie, right? So he had bought 4, and I took another one right after, and then I'm texting him after the first one as I'm taking another. I'm like, come in here now, like, oh my god. Which I still regret to this day, because I wish I could have seen his initial reaction when he read that text. He comes in and he just is smiling from like ear to ear, and it's like, what does it say? And I showed it to him, and he just has like this huge smile on his face, and I'm like, I'm freaking out. So I'm like, get out, you know, like let me finish and stuff. So I took the second one. I'm like, dude, they both say pregnant, like what the heck. So we get in the room and I'm just like sitting there like, oh shoot, like I can't even be like 2 weeks pregnant. The egg probably just implanted, like, because I didn't even get the chance to miss my period. He was so anxious. Then we're in the room and we're just kind of talking, and he just goes, and I'm like, are you sure this is what you want? And he's like, yeah. He gives me a big ass hug and he like holds my stomach. Remember that he called me Mama Bear, and he was like, oh, I can't believe it, whatever. Then I'm just like kind of still freaking out, and everyone knows, everyone in my family, all my friends know that whenever something happens or whenever like I just want to talk, I call my cousin Jasmine, who's like my best friend. We bump heads and stuff, but you know, that's my roll dog. The first thing I'm like is, can we FaceTime Jasmine? He's like, you sure you want to tell her? I'm like, yeah, let's just tell her. I need to tell someone. I'm FaceTiming Jasmine, and surprisingly she answers, because sometimes she don't answer, and she won't even text me or call me back, nothing. She just won't answer, but I get it because I be annoying her. And so we call her, FaceTime her, and then we're just talking, and I'm like, she's watching her show while we're on FaceTime, and I'm like, hey, so guess what? And she's like, what? Like kind of nervous, pregnant. And she just was like, literally just stopped, and she was like, what? Like I don't really remember too clearly. I showed her the test and everything, and she just was like, oh my god, like that's so crazy. I told her, and then I literally was like, damn, you're not even gonna say congrats to us? And she goes, congrats, but what the heck, like that's crazy. So she's like the first person ever to know, and then I think I waited a couple days, and so did he, to start telling everybody else. I wanted to tell everybody in person, but like that was my plan. And I don't know him and I know he texted all his friends. Like he texted his closest friends first and then told everyone else. And I think his closest friends took it really good. Like they're really excited for him. And one of his closest friends, his girlfriend, is one of my best friends too. I was kind of upset that he texted, because I was like, I wanted to tell them in person, but he just was really eager to. So she had already knew, and he just showed her the message, and she didn't even message me or nothing, because I'm pretty sure she knew like, oh, I'm gonna wait for her to tell me. So I think I ended up waiting like later that night and telling her after he told them. I waited later that night and I Snapchatted her a picture, and she just was like, oh my god, congrats bitch, like I already knew and all this stuff. And I was like, I figured, like, oh my god, I can't believe it. Like, so she kind of knew. And then I had sent that same picture to one of my friends, Cassie. And Cassie, I knew I wasn't gonna see her in person for a while, so she was kind of one of the first people. And like she kind of already knew, because I was talking to her about it when I had the feelings and stuff, and she's been like supportive since day one. She's like one of those friends who's like super busy all the time, but make sure she makes time to check in on me and now check in on the baby and stuff like that. Her, and she just was like, oh my god, I can't wait, like hella excited. Just like everyone was like really super supportive. So Jasmine was my first family member, and then I told my friends before I even told my family. Him, I know he told his friends first. I don't know when he told his brother, but I'm gonna just text my sister's pictures. And me and my oldest sister Melanie, we weren't talking at the time. Like we were beefing really hard. Like we weren't talking at the time, and I think she had me blocked, so she didn't even get my messages. But I had told them in our sister's group chat. The first person to reply was, I think, my sister Molly, and she just was like, oh my god, this is so crazy. And then my sister Melody, like everyone knows her, she's so over the top, like dramatic, like oh my god, like from day one she's always said, oh, that's my little niecey or whatever. So my sisters were super supportive. Me and my sister Melanie are good now. But yeah, so I had told my sisters, and then My sister Melody lived at home at the time, and she has the biggest mouth ever, and I wanted to tell my parents in person. My mom especially. They would, every day from then on, they would just FaceTime me like, when are you telling mom? When are you telling mom? And I'm like, I don't know. So I know that's kind of like the 11th to 12th-ish. And then I remember me and my other friend, after telling my sisters, me and my other friend Raina was like, hey, let's go grab something to eat. Picked her up, and I just was like, I don't know what we were talking about, but I was like, oh, guess who's pregnant? And she was like, who? And I was like, me. And then she really shocked, like really shocked. And she literally made me take her to Dollar Tree so I can take another one. She's like, you're gonna take this when you get home and send me a picture. After that, Amari and Catalina, friends. I've been friends with Amari since kindergarten, and then with Kat in 3rd grade. So we've been friends. So I had told them, they were obviously happy. Kat has her own daughter. She has actually 3 daughters. Amari she was pregnant with her son at the time. Was telling me when I had figured out that she was, because she didn't initially put it out there. She was like, you're next, like I already know you're next. So then I think I Snapchatted her one day too. They're telling all of them, it was the day before Valentine's Day. My sister's still FaceTiming me, back to them. My sister's still FaceTiming me. Like a little double date with my friend Raina and her boy. We're on the way home, and my sisters are FaceTiming me, and then it's my mom, and they're just like, just tell her. And my mom, like, I don't even have to tell her. She just goes, I know you're pregnant. Like, I can tell. You know, parents, quote unquote, can tell. And straight from the, like, jump, she already had my daughter's name picked out. She was like, I know you're having a girl. My name is gonna be Mali. This is her first granddaughter. I was like, don't get your hopes up, mom. Like, okay, if it's a girl, that's for sure gonna be her name, but I just don't want you to get your hopes up. She, like, asked me how he feels about it, like how everyone else felt about it, and she wasn't really disappointed or nothing like that. She loves my boyfriend so far, from what I know. She never says anything bad about him. He's just super supportive, from telling me what to eat, telling me I can't do this, I can't do that, all that stuff. I told my dad, and my dad loves being funny, and he just was like, oh, you have another grandkid to stay home and watch. He didn't really say like congrats, or he really shows little to no emotion. He's like super happy when he sees her. Parents in general, they're not like super strict. My mom used to actually be super strict on me until I got with my boyfriend. She met him. He literally actually called, can I take Melina to the movies? Once I got with him, like, they would never call me asking me where I am. They'd never even like worry about like none of that. Whatever you want, like, and they even let me start taking my car. He's super supportive in anything that their kids do, no matter what it is. They just were just happy from the jump. My whole family really was. I think after I told them, then like a couple days later, me and Jasmine get into it. I had like this group chat with every single buddy in it, me and my sisters, my brothers, family that lives in Stockton and family that lives in LA, and we're all in a group chat. What came out was me and Jasmine were like arguing. Me, I'm a little hothead, I'm a little sensitive. Jasmine kept calling me broke or whatever, right? Me and Jasmine always get into it hella bad, and then we literally always start talking again. And what's funny is we had a streak during that time. We were mad at each other, but we still kept the streak going. We're going at it in the group chat because I'm like, stop calling me broke. Like, that shit's hella irritating. And I just said, I was like, I have other things to worry about. I got a freaking baby on the way. Like, da-da-da-da-da. And then the whole like group chat just like stops, and everyone's like, baby, like, what are you talking about? And then my cousins from LA, who don't ever respond, like, they just read messages, they were responding. So that's how they found out. The way my aunts and uncles and everyone found out was I told one aunt, and this one aunt that if you tell her something, the whole family knows, which I don't mind. The only other important people was his grandparents, his mom, and his stepmom, and his dad. We were living with grandma and grandpa at the time. I was scared. His grandma and grandpa like intimidate me. They're gonna see this and they're gonna be like, why? Because we've been together for so long. Questioning me like, are you pregnant? When are we gonna tell them? He ends up telling his grandma though, like, yeah, she is, because she had a feeling, just like my mom. She had a feeling, and he ends up telling her. We wait for his mom to come over one day, and we kind of sit in the living room or with the kids, and grandma's just like, just tell them, just tell them. And we're just sitting there and just kind of out, since she literally is like, oh my god, you're lying, like, are you serious? And she just starts bawling, so I'm bawling. Took it super well. She gave us hugs. She was so happy for us. Grandpa gets out the kitchen and his mom is like giving us the hugs and all that, talking about everything, and his grandpa goes, so when is somebody gonna tell me this shit, or something like that. But that's how grandpa is. It wasn't like a mean way. Was the one who said, I'm surprised it took you guys this long. Oh, I only knew because the pregnancy test was under the sink. Asked people, which is, we wanted to tell everyone at the same time, but then it kind of would have made everything obvious. It's not that they're the last, it's just they're always super busy. We're always super busy. His stepmom and his dad. And I was really nervous to tell them too. Set up a date to have dinner. We didn't care who would have been at dinner, but it ended up just being us two, which was, we're sitting there, we're having dinner, and then they go, oh, what's new with you guys, what's going on? And this fool, my boyfriend, goes, oh, Melina's pregnant. Like, he didn't even warn me, give me a look or nothing. And then I just hear like forks drop. I didn't even look up. Like, I took a second to look up, and then I looked up and they just are like, are you serious? And they were just like, yep, we are. Only thing I remember from the conversation is his stepmom mentioned that now their car is too small, they can't take all the grandkids out together, whatever. But they took it pretty well, I would say. I'm not sure how they were gonna see this video though. Maybe they'll comment how they were at that time. Told our family, our closest friends. We didn't want to post it on any social media, just me personally. Only because like the first trimester is really risky, anything could happen, so that's why I didn't want to post it, because that would be something hard to like deal with, especially with the whole world knowing already. So that's kind of why I refrained from posting on social media so soon. I wanted to wait until my reveal. We went to a wedding in April, and I wore this dress that I originally bought for my 21st because I was gonna go out, but obviously I didn't. I posted a picture, and people were commenting like, oh my god, are you pregnant? Like, god, can you even tell in this picture? Like, how can you tell? I had my closest friends who knew had other people asking them like, oh, is she pregnant? Like, look at the last picture she posted, is she pregnant? And I left the picture up. I think it's still on my Instagram page. How long I waited, and the next day I was like, I'm just gonna post a picture and announce that we're pregnant. Took a picture that same day in that dress, and he was holding my stomach, and my stomach was actually really poking. I posted, I was like, yeah, I'm expecting, and we just got so much love that day. I think he didn't post until our reveal. He really wanted a girl, so his post was super cute. Like, it makes me cry every time I read it. My whole reveal date just makes me cry because it was super emotional. To me, it was super emotional because she's the first granddaughter on my side of the family. Everyone in the end really was just super supportive. Like, they asked us what we wanted to do, how we handled it. The only thing that was really nervous was we were still living with grandma and grandpa. We started looking for apartments and we didn't even tell them, which I felt kind of bad. I know they were happy to have us there, but it just wouldn't have been enough room because we also have our dog as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's kind of boring because no one had really no like shocking reactions. Everyone was really super supportive. They're actually excited, and that just made me kind of feel even better. I knew from the jump that my baby was gonna be super loved and super spoiled. If you guys want, in my next video, I'm going to talk about my labor and delivery, or I'm going to talk about my gender reveal. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I think my YouTube is kind of going to be story times and vlogs, so if you have any suggestions, let me know. My labor and delivery video, my sister actually suggested it might be a mukbang. It's there, so she kind of wants to, you know, talk about it with me. But I don't know if we want to talk about my situation while eating because it was crazy. So go ahead and let me know how you felt about this video. You can DM me, let me know down below, whatever you want to do. Thanks for watching.